Hi everybody, good morning. Today I'm here in a rural part of Telangana state, which is in southern part of India. Basically, I'm very glad to come back to this lake where I used to come here as a child. Firstly, what I wanted to talk about is that this lake, what you see behind me, used to be dry for most parts of the year. Now that the monsoons are just over here in the southern part of India, you can see that the lake is full of water and other aquatic plants, along with a lot of birds coming in right now. So basically, I'm very glad to see this lake in a very fully flourishing form. So what I wanted to focus through this film is that about lakes, lake ecology and lake biodiversity around the lakes, and how important lakes are in our landscapes. As you can see, there's a lot of water lily, lotus along with other aquatic plants growing around the lake. Basically, when you see a lot of lilies and lotus growing in a lake, it means that the water is very clean and the lake is very healthy. Primarily, when the water is clean, many species of insects, amphibians, reptiles, lizards, and other aquatic life forms start to thrive. And when this happens, it paves a path to start the food chain and create a very fully functional ecosystem around the lake and support a larger scale of biodiversity. Now when you see a lot of fish thriving in the water, a lot of birds come in to feed on the fish, and eventually this turns out to be a hotspot for bird watching and a paradise for bird watchers. Two key factors that determine the biodiversity of the lake. One is the clean water that is present in the lake, and the second one is vegetation around the lake. All kinds of vegetation, be it trees, plants, or anything that birds survive on, is a very important part of the lake ecosystem. Like you see right now here, these birds are using the trees as their perching and roosting spots. So that helps them in hunting the food around the lake, and also once they are full, they go back to these tree tops on the canopies and rest and roost there. And this also helps in keeping the birds around the lake for a while, accordingly when they move around from place to place in seasons. Over the past few days, I have been going around the lake and taking some notes along with some observations. What I have come to observe is that right now this lake is being used as breeding grounds and nesting grounds of different species of birds. So what I recently observed is that there's a family of coots that is building their nest right here, and the chicks are happily going around to forage for food along with their parents. Now, when you see this kind of activity happening here, especially in the family of coots, generally what happens is that out of 9 or 10 hatchlings, not most of them survive except 1 or 2. But what I have observed right here is that at least 5 or 6 of the chicks are surviving and happily thriving. This also stands as a very good example of a healthy ecosystem which supports a larger scale of biodiversity and also help in conservation activities if needed. Also, as part of conservation practices, it's always good to take some notes about the changes that occur around the lake over a period of, let's say, 1 year, to understand what goes around throughout the year in different seasons. By this, you get a proper understanding of how the lake ecology changes in different seasons and what it needs for us to look after in keeping the lake healthy and support the biodiversity to continue. So, what is important to keep in mind while we make observations is that you keep a track of the diversity of aquatic plants, animals, birds, and also fish that survive and thrive in this kind of environment, which helps in understanding how the whole ecology of the food chain works, and especially also keep a track of the approximate numbers of the birds and the area of vegetation that is being covered in the lake. According to different climatic conditions, this might change over a period of time. So, to speak about some of the challenges that we face today, most of the lakes are facing ecological degradation. Interestingly, it is very important to understand and note that these aquatic ecosystems are capable of self-maintaining the circle of life around them. But however, the delicate equilibrium is sensitive to external stimuli such as human activities. Now, these human activities could be anything like overfishing practices, irresponsible disposal of waste, industrial pollution, and also sometimes religious practices, etc. Now, when there is a disturbance in the equilibrium and the balance of nature, there is a threat for the availability of food. And when there's a threat for availability of food, there could be a tough competition between the species for their survival, which eventually disturbs the whole ecological balance of these lakes and other water bodies. To fight these kind of challenges and resolve the problems, firstly, education plays a major role. Programs like public awareness and regular field trips into these kind of areas would help in studying the area at grassroots levels and understand the problems. Then necessary actions should be taken accordingly so that we restore the health and ecological balance of all kinds of water bodies like these lakes. Thank you.